I have recently shifted to a new house, got a new bookshelf which I still have to set. But still, I also have a few bookshelves on that side along with my TBR cart. So a lot of space to store books. Therefore, new house, new year, new books. Let's get into it. Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. Hi, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I really hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. I have not bought all of these books. I have bought some of them. Some of them were gifted to me. Some of them were sent to me by the publisher. But the common theme with all of the books is that I am absolutely obsessed with them already, and I cannot wait to read them, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys. Starting with quite a few books that were sent to me by Vasundhara as Christmas gift, New Year gift, and also she has decided to gift me one book every month of 2025, which is just insane to me. She is literally actually my book boyfriend because of how much she spoils me. So first up, we have the Christmas gift that I got from her, the entire Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I know a lot of you guys are going to be so happy to see this because I have been getting so many comments to read this series and tell you guys what I think about it, and everybody's telling me that it is this magical world and this and that, and now I actually have it in my hand. So as you can see, I actually did start reading it, but I DNF'd it because I was just not in the space at that time. I'm waiting to get in the space to read the series. Probably going to be in this month itself, the month of love. The first book, Once Upon a Broken Heart, is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with all of these covers. The second book is The Ballad of Never After, and this is what it looks like. Absolutely yet again gorgeous. And the third book is A Curse for True Love. Oh my god, like I am absolutely obsessed with these covers so much. I have the series in my hands and I cannot wait to read it, and you guys be ready for the vlog. Then for the month of January, she has gifted me yet another pink color book. I love pink color books so much. Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the interconnected series of the Lakefront Billionaires, and it's set in Lake Wisteria. I read Love Redesigned and I was absolutely obsessed with that book. I have recommended it so many times, even though it is such a long book. That one also I really enjoyed it because I enjoyed the couple so much, and I enjoyed the characters individually too, which is why I was so excited to read this book too. I do not know who this is about, but I know it's about some of the characters that was already mentioned in the first book, so I'm very excited to read it. And I actually enjoy Lauren Asher's writing. I not enjoyed that much in the Dreamland Billionaire series, I think that's what it's called, the first two books, but even in that I liked Final Offer a lot, and then I enjoyed Love Redesigned a lot, and now I'm excited for this. I also read a short story by her and that was so much fun. I really enjoy her writing. And for the month of February, she has gifted me We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman. This one is shockingly short and I cannot wait to read this one. Obviously, I cannot wait to read any of these books actually. Two people whose content has actually convinced me to read this book is one, Nona Opal, who I follow on Instagram, and I recently read her book and I enjoyed it so much. And secondly, Ruthwik. He read this book I think in 2024 or 2023, and he was absolutely obsessed with this book. So cannot wait to read this one. It's supposed to be a tearjerker and I'm very ready to cry. Next up, I have a Japanese literature short book duology. The first book is The Kamogawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. This one is translated by Jesse Kirkwood. This is what the first book looks like, and I have heard only good things about this book. I got this one particularly because it is a short book and it is Japanese fiction, and I know you guys are always looking forward to short book recommendations, so I got this one. The Japanese fiction part is for me because I really enjoy the coziness of Japanese fiction. It's just top notch. I know that it includes a cat and it includes food and it's Japanese fiction, and I'm totally on board with it. And then we have the second part in the same series, The Restaurant of Lost Recipes, which is also translated by Jesse Kirkwood. Jesse Kirkwood is the translator of The Lantern of Lost Memories, and you guys know, if you watch my content, that I'm obsessed with that book. So now whenever I'm seeing that Jesse Kirkwood has translated any Japanese fiction, I am looking forward to it, and both of these are translated by her. I cannot wait to read it. Next is a very anticipated release of mine, which for some reason I did not not put it in my anticipated releases list. Just slipped my mind, or I know that it's going to come out very soon. That's why I've not put it on the list. We have She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. This is the proof copy of the book. This is not the published version. I will see if it is published already, and I'll put the link in the description if I can find it. Eliza Clark is actually the author of Boy Parts and Penance. I read Penance in 2023 and I was just cannot believe that one book can be that dark. I read so much dark fiction, like dark content and thrillers and whatnot and gore, and I watch horror movies, but nothing has matched up to it. And I have been saving Boy Parts for myself to read it at an appropriate time where I can enjoy it a lot. Now Eliza Clark has come out with this beauty. I am obsessed with the title already, and this one is actually a collection of short stories. This one also is a very short book to read, and I'm just so grateful that I have the proof copy of it. I don't think I'm going to read the entire book at once. I think I'm going to read one story at a time and then give some space and read some other book and then come back to it, because I really enjoy Eliza Clark's writing. This is a good way for me to stretch this out and have enough content to read by her. I cannot wait to read this one. It's going to be dark and disgusting. I'm so sure of it, and I'm so here for it. Next up, I also received The Book of George by Kate Greathead. I really hope that's how you pronounce the name. Obsessed with this cover. It reminds me of Good Material a little bit, and the description is absolutely insane. I refrain from reading the description a lot of the times about these books, because in case you don't want to know what it is, so if you don't want to know, you can skip. But this blurb is worth reading because it just describes why I am looking forward to read this book so much. We all know a George. He's the kind of guy who's brimming with potential but incapable of following through. He doesn't know if he's in love with his girlfriend, but he certainly likes having her around. He's distant from but still reliant on his mother. He swears he'll finish his novel one day. Sure, you might find him disappointing, but no one is more disappointed in George than George himself. I am so excited to read this book, and I have already read 40 pages, and it is the first few years of George's life and the things that he has been through. I cannot wait to read ahead. It's written in a very slow-paced manner. I don't want to review it, but it is written in a very slow-paced manner, so I'm not able to binge it through, and I'm reading other books while I'm reading this book. But I am always very eager to pick this book back up, because we all do know a George. It's so much fun to read about such characters. You see their day-to-day life, you see where they're coming from, you see them not liking themselves, and then you see what they do with it. So I'm excited to see what George does with his life. Next up, I actually requested for this book, and when I was requesting for it, I said, I am desperate for this one. Can you please send it to me, to the publisher? Because I have seen this title a couple of times here and there, and then I also saw it in Kitab Khana in Mumbai. I have been wanting to read this book so badly. It's just that when it came, it turned out to be a really thick book. I couldn't read it as soon as it came. I did try and I read 20 pages, but it's a really thick book and I need a lot of time to finish reading this book, which is why I kept it away, so when I have time I can pick it back up. The book is I'll Look for You Everywhere by Cameron Capello. Just look at that cover. You have already seen the title. This is probably going to be something like Alone with You in the Ether or Wellness by Nathan Hills, something in that genre. That is what I'm predicting. But the reason I'm so desperate for it is because the title makes me think that these two people are obsessed with each other in a healthy or unhealthy way, and they will look for each other everywhere, and it's going to have beautiful quotes. I can already tell you it's going to have beautiful quotes, and it's not only going to be a romance, it's going to be a love story, maybe mixed with tragedy, maybe not. I don't know what it has, but it's going to be a love story. And if there is something I like more than romances, it's a love story, because they are not always happily ever afters, but they always touch me in a different way. They touch my heart in a different way. I can't wait to read this one. Look at that size though. It's insane. Even the text inside is not that big. It's going to take a lot of time for me to finish this book. Next, I also received Olivia Blake's January's Stories of Love, Magic and Betrayal. Olivia Blake is the author of the Alone with You in the Ether, the book that I just talked about, and Alone with You in the Ether is my all-time favorite. It's the top book in the Anchal Rani reading list. I am obsessed with Olivia Blake's writing. I have also read a couple of other books by her, and I'm obsessed with it. This one is a short story collection, and I am not the biggest fan of short stories, but as you can see, the the other book also by Eliza Clark is a short story collection. This one also is, because I am trying to find books that will help me to get into short stories, because I want to read more short stories for myself also to have fun, but also to be able to recommend it to you guys, because I think short stories are a great way of getting into reading. So I'm giving these books a chance. Look at that cover. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, oh, beautiful. I received Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, which for some reason I keep calling it Ugly Beautiful. Not some reason, actually. The G and L and F, all of these letters in the title, it is flipped, and so whenever I think about this title, I flip it and I make it Ugly Beautiful instead of Beautiful Ugly. I don't know why my brain is working like that. And I'm saying this because I think I have talked about this book in my yearly reset for reading, and I've called it Ugly Beautiful. And then I think even in the vlog where I'm reading this book, I've called it Ugly Beautiful. I've also typed Ugly Beautiful when I was looking for this book. Anyways, this one is the latest release by Alice Feeney, and I got it in December itself, and I have already read it and I'm already obsessed with it, but I just wanted to show you that I got this copy. It's a story of this author whose wife goes missing, and so he goes completely off track from writing, and so he goes to an isolated island to be able to write again, except stuff starts happening over there that's just like really weird, and then you just have Alice Feeney's magical writing. It's not exactly like rock, paper, scissors. It has this horror mystery feel to it, and I was here for it, so I really enjoyed it. Next, I bought Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Kori as soon as I could. I think it released, and 2 days later this was in my hands. This is actually also a signed copy, which is just crazy to me. I have a signed copy. I have already read this book and I've already reviewed it properly, so I'm not gonna review it in this video, but yeah, I did get it. I am also obsessed with this cover too. How cute is that? And also behind, the two characters, adorable. Then I bought a few books from a bookstore called Bargain Book Hut, and I for some reason cannot find a couple of books from that stack, so whenever I find it, I'll talk about it then. For now, we have The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This is on my TBR for 2025, and I think it is a classic, a modern day classic or an actual classic, I'm not sure. And I have heard only good things about this. I have talked about this in the yearly reset video for 2025. I got a comment from one of you guys saying that you're a literature student, I think, or a literature professor. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm missing out on it. But as whatever you are, you're telling me that I'm gonna love this book so much, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm so happy that I finally got a copy. I was going to buy it way earlier, but I was just waiting for a discount, and I got a good discount on this book when I got it from Bargain Book Hut. Then I got these two books, yet again Japanese fiction and very short to read. First up, we have Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. This is what it looks like. The tin foiling and the art, everything just absolutely gorgeous, and it's translated by Eric Ozawa. A book about bookshops, a book about books. Cannot wait to read this. This is probably going to be one of my new favorite comfort genres actually in 2025, reading books about books, reading books about bookstores. And then I also got the second part of it, More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, the tin foiling and everything, translated by Eric Ozawa, written by Satoshi Yagisawa. I love this cover even more than the first one. Again, short Japanese fiction, very ready for it. Oh yeah, I got another book, but this one I don't think is Japanese fiction. It's not written in this. What language is it translated from? Because I have a feeling this is translated from Korean. We have Welcome to the Hyunam Dong Bookshop by Hwang Bo Ryum. How beautiful is that? Translated by Shanna Tan. You can see the sticker is still there. I was getting it at a discount, so I bought it because yes, this is going to be one of my comfort genres this year. I read Book of Doors last year, and it was such a fantastical, beautiful reading about books, and I was just like, I read books to feel things and feel emotions, and what better way to feel my love for reading itself, feel my love for books themselves, if not reading books about books? Because the whole feeling of going into a bookshop, buying a book, reading a book is just going to be expressed in such a beautiful way in books, in a way that I cannot describe it. So I'm very excited to read it. Next up, I got another gift by one of you guys, which I am so grateful for. We have A Murder on Malabar Hill by Praveen Mistry. No, A Murder on Malabar Hill by Sujata Masi. It's a Parveen Mystery investigates, like that sort of a novel, and I am thinking that this detective is actually investigating other crimes too, and that's why it's called Parveen Mystery Investigates. I'm not sure about it. I got a comment about this book in my 2025 reading reset video. One of my goals for 2025 is to read regional books, read translated work, read underrated books, books by Indian authors, books like that, and I asked you guys to give me recommendations, and one of those was this under that video. I also saw the premise of it and it sounded very interesting. It is a thriller, a crime thriller, and I am very intrigued. I want to see what a crime thriller is like in the Desi setting, so I got this one straight away. Also, I really like this cover, and I have to say that plays a role in why I got this book. Thank you, Ashwini. And I went back to Bargain Book Hut and I bought more books. First up, we have The Shadow Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I really hope I'm taking the name right. Again, this was 20% discount. I am obsessed with this cover, and I think one of you guys actually commented about it on one of my videos, that is like this OG fantasy book, enemies to lovers, and I will really enjoy it. So I bought it already. I think it is a standalone. I googled so much, like standing at the bookstore, and I don't generally like using my phone except for like shooting and stuff, using my phone to research books at bookstores, because I don't want those, you know, everybody over there to think that I'm just like looking at books and then putting it in my Amazon wishlist and buying it from Amazon. I mean, I do that, but I don't want them to think that when I am in the store. So I refrained from using my phone, but I still used my phone, and I was searching aggressively whether this is a duology or a trilogy or a standalone, and everybody is saying that it's a standalone, but then I also saw another book that sounds like this and the cover was matching. Then is it a duology? I don't know. Okay, so now I have just decided, like if you guys know, then you comment down below and let me know, but for now I have just decided that I'm going to read the book and see whether it is a standalone or a duology. Next, again with my 2025 underrated blah all of those goals, I have Liberal Hearts by Nayanthara Violet Alba. Absolutely obsessed with this cover. It's so floppy, smells amazing, and it's about these two characters who come from different socio-economic backgrounds, and that's it. That's all I need in my life. It's a romance novel. I'm hoping it's more than that once I get into it, because when I read the blurb it sounds like it's more than that. Last but not the least at all, we have The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. Matt Haig is the author of The Midnight Library, and you guys know I'm not obsessed with that book, but I really did enjoy it. But I really did enjoy it. It gave me a fresh perspective towards life. Now again, I don't know what this book is about, but it is fiction by Matt Haig. That's all I know, and I know that it's again about perspective towards life, so I'm very excited to read this. This was also on discount, so I just got it for myself. Love this edition. Not obsessed with this cover, but it's definitely beautiful and I can't wait to read it. And with that, we come towards the end of the video. There are two hardcover books that I am not able to find. Like I got it in that house itself, and now it is in my shelf and I cannot find it. If I find it, I will put the clip in here, but if I don't, well, this is it. I'll try to add those books to the list when I'm making another haul video, hopefully very soon, because I have so much space now. Like that was literally the only restriction I had in the other house, and I was trying to like not buy a lot of books. Now what's going to stop me? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to stick around, see what I think about these books, do subscribe. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.